Okay, I'll just check one or two things here. So I'm not muted, or I shouldn't be, which is good. Let me just test. There we go. That should be good there. Yep. That's fine there. That's all up and running. That's working there. I need to take myself out of cloak and out of god mode so that we're not using anything that we shouldn't be doing, because we want to keep this as legit as we can. And yes, we should be good to go. Just double check a few things here, make sure we're all up and running, ready to get cracking. And we've got that working there. Just give me 1 second, guys. Just want to add a message in the chat. Send that like that.
I all hope you all enjoy.
Then we're going to go on that, and we need to pin that message to the top. There we go. Right, so it should all be good there. Yep, right. I should be all up and running. Let's stop doing that. Right, hope everybody's good. Hope you're doing well. It's Friday again. Yeah. Can't believe it. Right, so what do we want to do today? We are at the minute here, just next to the entrance to Sepa Maru, kind of near the Black Rhino boss. I haven't actually checked this boss recently because on the last patch, well, the last few occasions, the Black Rhino boss is actually invisible. But I've got two young ladies with me today. If you remember from last Friday's stream, I did actually say we'll have a look at Dina, Master Huntress and Freya. Both of them have only gained a couple of levels, so well, I'll say a couple. Level 3. Put Freya in a slightly different, same outfit as Dina, but different colour, just so that we can tell the two apart. And I've geared Freya up with a bow and a Void Forge, well, the dragon katana, and then Dina is geared up, oops, wrong one, as a strength build. Because what we're going to try and do is see, even though she comes with the points in her strength, she already seems to be levelling up pretty good in that, which is good. I'm also trying to see, because this particular Freya happens to have a higher chance of leveling her agility, so I've given her a bow still as well, and a katana, so that she's using both agility weapons, and she's actually wearing the full Stygian soldier armour, which is disguised as the Veneer Settler, and then same again, Veneer Settler for Dina, but she's obviously in the Veneer fur as well. She's using grilled steak because I want to build her health up a bit, because her growth chance in agility is pretty good. And then Dina is just using gruel because I want to try and get her strength up a bit. But also what I am going to do, I'm going to have to move a stack of these to be able to do it. Let me make sure I give them the right one. Give her one of those, and then give her those back again. So that should have given her a boost there, and then we'll give Freya, oops, need to take a stack of arrows off her again, and then we want to give her one of those, which will hopefully give her agility a bit more of a boost. Yep, right, okay, so we've got these two with us, as I say. I'm going to try and level them up when I do a bit of testing. Heard a lot of people say both of these, that even though they are good with the melee, where they come with the so much already in melee that can they be levelled as an agility. So we'll test this with Freya, as she seems to have the highest with regards to agility, so we'll see how she goes. We've got good old Candy with us once again. Hello anybody in chat, I hope you're well. Nice of you to pop in. So yeah, we're just going to have a bit of an explore. I've come to this area because I want to go down sort of next to the unnamed city, sort of on the way to Clayle Stronghold, and see there's a plot of land there that I'm thinking I may build a sort of forward operating base on for the chapter 2 of the Age of War. I'm going to not make it an actual crafting base, but it's going to be heavily guarded hopefully, and put a treasure room in there so that I can have all my treasure stored in there, and then hopefully have it well guarded, because we want to make sure obviously that our treasure is really well guarded and defended, because I don't want it at the main base where I have at the moment, because even though I've put one in there, that was just a temporary look really. So I want to kind of explore a little bit and see maybe if this plot that I'm thinking of is a good area to build one. Plus it's levelling up Candy as well, and also we're getting both Dina and Freya leveled up a bit as well, which is pretty good. So that's kind of one of our tests that we're running at the same time as exploring a bit. Yeah, if anyone's got any questions, let me know. Do my best to answer them if I can. As I say, it's just our Friday fun stream, just chilling again, playing a bit of Conan Exiles and chatting about stuff to do with the game. If you guys have got any questions, or if you have any questions about recent videos that you've seen, if you've seen any, let me know. A little bit earlier than I normally am. Normally do 7 till 9, but I thought, you know what, I'm here, I'm ready. Why not just get everything going, and then at least we can just see how we go. So yeah, we're on Friday once again. Oh, there we go, you two. Oh, what else is coming? Oops. Couple of little scorpions. That one. Yeah. Feels weird seeing Freya holding a flipping katana, because I'm so used to classing her as a melee build. Just that's the way I've always made her anyway. So yeah, what I'm thinking is this bit of land down here, because it's kind of flat. But then I don't know, I'm kind of like, I want to build somewhere for this like treasure room where it doesn't have like 4 sides that it could be attacked from really. Because obviously as we know, the purge is going to be changing in chapter 2, and if we're going to get attacked by things, I want space for these NPCs to spawn around it, but I don't want them to have too many areas to attack. Now I don't know if it's going to be that they're going to know where a gateway is and try to approach a gateway and attack your people guarding the gateway and try and get in that way, so I could have a gate on each side. Or is it going to be if I just had a gate at one side, they're going to start attacking walls to break in if the treasure room's right in the middle. I was kind of thinking on here, sort of clear all this area off and build something on here, not too crazy big, but maybe big enough to put the treasure room in, with the coffer and the scribe or what to call them that comes with it, then enough space to put decent amount of treasures around it, and make it probably 1 foundation thick with maybe walls on the interior and the walls on the outside of it, and then an interior courtyard that we can place plenty of guards around, and then an external wall that again will probably triple tier, so foundation with wall either side, and then just loads of decent higher tier leveled up fighters around the outside, but I'm not too sure yet whether this area will be any good. Obviously there's a little bit to go till chapter 2 yet. Hello everyone in chat, I hope you're good. Nice to see you, thank you for popping in. Just saying previously, I'm having a look at levelling up a Freya and Dina Master Huntress, 2 archers, Freya's actually geared up as an agility build, and Dina is geared up for strength build. Even though they both look like they're in the Veneer Settler, they're actually in my agility or strength setups that I use for my followers. Just a little bit of a test that we're doing. See, because Freya has this slightly higher agility chance level up, whether we can get her leveled in agility as an agility build, and then we can keep the bow on her as well. She's also using a katana. And then, as I say, Dina's geared up as a strength build with momentum. Kind of just see how that goes. I mentioned that in the stream excuse me, last Friday, that we'd probably try and level these two up, and we've got Candy the horse with us this time. Lady's taking a rest this week. She was out with us last Friday, so I thought we'd change it up and bring Candy with us this time. She's at level 17, I think, so we're going to get her fully leveled up. And I'm just having a look at this plot of land at the minute, really, just trying to decide for this little treasury that I want to build, whether I'm going to build it here in another location where I can build it against a wall or a mountain that's not going to get attacked as easy, because obviously we don't know too much information yet. I don't know when these new attackers come, are they going to aim for a gate if you've got a big open gate and kind of fight your guards, or are they going to do like the Purge used to do and just start shooting at your wall if they're archers? Not really sure, because my main base at the moment is a big sort of base here, and I don't really want a treasure room in there, just because I do so much work in there for the videos, etc., and other things like that. I want to try and get another area. Oh, where did you sneak up from? Come on. Nice. Let's see how they go with this other one. Yeah, I mean, I know this is only scorpions, but that was pretty decent. What levels are we on? Level 4, so they're creeping up. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe here, but I don't know whether to put a gate on each wall. I could certainly have enough guards at each gate, and maybe an archer on each gate. Not really too sure. Let me know if anybody's got any ideas that's in chat. Do you know the map pretty well? Do you think of anywhere that's maybe a good idea to build a little treasury that could be easily defended? Bear in mind, it's not going to be like the old Purge now, where we have to, well, not have to, but where when you built in a certain area in the past, you got a certain type of Purge. So like if you built over this side, you typically got scorpions or relic hunters, where obviously with this new Purge in chapter 2, it's going to be completely different now. It's going to be the difficulty that's more of the issue than the type of... That command is still buggy. Told them to attack and yet it's told them to run. Yep. Yeah, come on then. You're insisting on fighting me, there we go. So yeah, I don't really know how that's going to work yet. Whether I do want to do a treasury here with 4 gates around either side with guards on it. Bit unsure yet. There are a few other areas that you could do it. I'll have to do a bit of exploring and kind of see where I'm thinking really that I'm going to go. Right, let's just go over this hill a little bit. Because there are some more scorpions along the way, and there's also some skeletons at Clay's stronghold that should give some decent XP. I don't know if they'll attack that one now because I just ran into it. They may do, they may not. They are set on guard me as well, so they're not just going to attack everything randomly. That was just in case I happened to actually go into Sepamaru. I didn't want them just going crazy on everything really. That's one of the players that's on our server, that's their base that they built. Another one. Where's he gone? Must have got it. Okay, never mind. Hello to anyone in chat, hope you're well, good to see you. Friday once again in our usual little couple of hours of a Friday stream. From about 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock my time. Hope you're all good. Hope your week's not been too stressful or too difficult. Hope you're ready for the weekend once again. Time to relax, of course, hopefully, although some of us will probably still be busy, I know. It's, yeah, depends what your schedule's like. But yeah, if you have any questions, do feel free to ask. If I can answer, I will do. Can't guarantee I know the answer to everything, but I'll certainly try and answer if I can. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Just been checking everything just before stream, and as far as I can tell, everything's working, so let me know if anything isn't. Right, let's see. Have I gone past it? Yeah, I have. I might go in here. Running right past Clare's Stronghold. You wouldn't think I've been playing this game for over 3,000 hours, would you? Dear me, that was terrible. Ran straight past it. This is where we need to be. Not at the obelisk, obviously. Alright. Horsey, you just wait there a minute. Oh, what are you doing? Look at that guy. I'm gonna have to just block a minute. We're not getting hit by any archers, luckily. They're going for them, so that's pretty handy. You can tell with the katana that they are a little slower, especially when they do the heavy dash, where they do the dash. But they do alright. Seem to be doing the damage, especially if it's the dragon bone katana, which is made with star metal, of course. Right, next one's here. Send them in again. Of course, typically because they are archers, they're using the bow straight away, and they are actually both using a legendary bow, or what was classed as legendary, and they're also using hardened steel arrows, which is probably why they're doing a little more damage than what they would normally do. So the hardened steel arrows certainly seem to be really good. I mean, to be honest with you, archery in this game has never really been absolutely fantastic. I mean, you can see now she's shooting up at this guy here and barely hitting him. I mean, he's barely hitting her, but that's fair enough. So we'll take that guy out. And then we'll take that guy out for them. There we go. Right. Actually, while we're here, let's see how they're doing here. I know they're just going to start shooting at the archers at the beginning. I'm just wondering how they're going to do with this boss, because one's agility, one's strength. Are they both just going to keep using the bow and arrow, or are they going to actually charge at this boss and attack him? Interesting to see. Right, come on you two, they're attacking now. Why would you use your bow when the enemy's right in front of you? There we go. See, typically this is why I won't usually give an agility build a bow, because for regular combat like this, yeah, this is probably great. If she level's great in agility, she'll probably become an archer at the treasury or something, because she'll obviously be really high level for the excuse me, agility damage, so we'll have to see what happens with that one. Let me just quickly check here that we're not going to night time too quick, because it does get very dark in here. So hopefully you guys can all see well enough. What I'm going to try and do here is send them onto him. Hopefully they don't get distracted. Ouch. While they're focusing on him, we'll handle the adds around the side. Oh, they seem to do fine on him. They've destroyed that guy pretty... I mean, he's pretty easy anyway. But that's pretty impressive. They're kind of both shooting at that guy instead of using their melee weapon. Well, I say melee weapons, I mean melee, which they now kind of both just did there, which is good. Excuse me. Just have a quick drink. Right. So that's kind of interesting for me that they did pretty good against that guy. They shouldn't have any issues with these.
You just great.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you to say. Yeah, thank you. Nice to see you. Hope you're good. Alright, let's see how they go in here. These guys are going to come for me. Come on, there's more people attacking it. I maybe should have changed them to attack all enemies, really. Because now, of course, I've got all the corrupted guys on me. Let me just roll out of the way a minute. I'll take these guys again. Oops, daisy. Good job we're wearing good armour. This is why it can get a bit more hectic when you've got builds that are using bows, because they tend to, unless I selected them to prioritise melee, because they are naturally archers, they're going to keep using the bow, but I don't want to prioritise them to melee because otherwise they're not going to use the bow. And we're kind of trying to test whether them using a bow is actually still worth it, it's still viable. If it is, then obviously that's great. We'll have to see. So this is the Warmaker, I do believe. Yeah. Watch out for that heavy attack from him. Both on him, so I'll try and handle these guys. Oh yeah, absolutely melted him. What did he drop? And he's dropped Nordium. I'll take the statue as well. Now he can also drop a decent mace as well, which is Nortis, I think you pronounce it. That's another pretty decent mace that he can drop as well. He drops a couple of different ones. I can never pronounce the other one that he drops, the other sword I think it is. And if it's Balis or Balis, I can never pronounce some of these names, so you'll have to forgive me on that one. So that is the Warmaker mini-boss. The next one should be the Archivist, or Archivist, however you want to pronounce it. And I don't think he drops a weapon, he just drops a book, which gives you a different buff each time. So that can be a carry weight, strength damage bonus, agility bonus. I'll get that guy, please. This guy's going to come at me. Yeah, I got an axe too, but of course he's corrupted, so that did hurt. But a little bit of corruption's not going to hurt us too much. It's not going to devastate us really. And just in case I didn't mention, even though I look like I'm wearing a different outfit, which is kind of a mixture of different pieces, I am actually wearing the full Redeemed Legion, which is the better version of the Silent Legion. And I've got the bulked plating on the head, the hands and the feet, and then an armour reduction kit on the chest and the legs, just to reduce the weight of it, because the chest and legs are two of the sort of heaviest pieces in that armour set. Get that guy please. No, see, they didn't just quite, there we go, because he hit me, they went for him. Go. Very nice. So yeah, the Archivist, there he is. Yeah. That's it, concentrate on them two, not me. See if we can see his health now when they're both getting going. I've already taken nearly half off him. So you just hit him with the mace and then his health went from half to a quarter and then dead. So yeah, another statue, and as you see there a book, and that particular one, if we interacted with it, would give us a follower damage of plus 17. So I'm going to use that one, which I don't know if this will affect these two as a war party build. That may definitely work on a single follower setup. Not too sure if that works on a war party, as I say, but we'll have to test that one and see. But it can be a very different sort of effect it can give you every time. So follower damage, concussive damage, agility, strength, stamina, health boost. It can be any of those. Speaking of health, make sure I drink and I eat some food, because I am playing this the legit way where I don't have cloak or god mode on, so that I can actually take damage and will get hungry and thirsty. It won't be as often as official servers, because we do have things slightly reduced on here, because this is a beginner friendly server for people to join. And if you want to join, we are on PS5, but it's also available PS4. There's the details on the bottom there. Conan's chosen slightly boosted beginner friendly server, available on PS4, PS5, as I say, and we are a PvE, sorry I forgot what I was going to say then, PvE server, so there's no PvP on here. This is a PvP friendly, PvE friendly server, I should say. Get that guy. Come on. So I told them to get him and the boss just stood behind the wall looking at him. Come on. That's the only problem now. If they both had their melee weapons on, they'd have just gone for that guy straight away. There we go. I'm trying to hit him from range now. Yep. Ooh. So, harder steel arrows do definitely seem to do a decent amount of damage. And they've got a decent amount of them. Give them like 200 each, so they should easily be having plenty to go there. It used to be that star metal arrows were the best ones, but of course, like a lot of things, they got nerfed, and the hardened steel seem to be slightly better, which is surprising, but there we go. And this is the... what's this guy called? I've forgotten his name now. We had the Warmaker, the Archivist, and the Priest King. That's him. Priest King. And these are three giant kings. Of course, they're going to shoot him with the bow first to get his attention. Freya is definitely a bit slower with the katana, but Dina with the mace just goes absolutely ham on him. And we got his statue, and he's dropped a shield this time. Ymir's Targe. But that can also be Yog's Touch, which is a one-handed axe of sort, I believe, and I think one of the effects of that one is corruption, so it's corrupted that one. Yog's Touch, a few people seem to like that. You can get it quite often, the drop rates are pretty decent. I used to use Nortis, or most of my followers that are strength builds in the duos have got a Nortis, and the other one's got the Tellus Sorrow two-handed sword, and even now I've got those with them. We still seem to get a decent drop rate off the first mini boss for it. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to put these three little statues in the right place, and what you need to do is have a look for these three little ones here. So one should go there, one should go there, and then where's the other one? Of they stood on it? Come out of the way. The third one is here, I believe. Yep. And as you can see, this essentially underneath is a map of the map that we play on. So yes, we've got our key now. That's perfect. Keep the torch on so you guys can see. I'm not sure how bright it is in here. So obviously YouTube makes dark places a lot darker, unfortunately. That guy please, because I can't put my shield on and obviously use a torch at the same time. Unfortunately I could use the wisp and sorcery, but I haven't got my sorcerer staff with me, unfortunately. Kinda forgot to bring that with me. So we'll have to make do with the regular torch. Hello to anyone who's just joined, nice to see you. I hope you're well. Just another chill Friday, playing a bit of Conan, talking about Age of War and sort of what our anticipations or hopes are for the next chapter when chapter 2 comes along. And if you're still playing now, what do you play on? Are you guys on PC or are you on console? Let me know, chat. What are your platforms that you're playing on, or Xbox even? Unfortunately this isn't crossplay, which would be really nice if it was, but unfortunately it's not, so we're kind of a little bit limited as to who we can play with unless we've got people to play with on the same console or PC as us. Now if I stand on this tile in front of me here, this will launch up into the air and I will take fall damage when I land, so I'll have to try and avoid that one. And the little disc on the floor there is also a trap, and there we go. Yep, still hit it. Even though I thought I avoided it, I still managed to hit it somehow. Oop. Get out of it. Oh yeah, I'll deal with you. Hello. Gotta be careful I don't roll into any spikes or anything. And there are, in these little side bits up here and then here and then the next one along, and also on that other far side there are chests that you can loot that have various loot in them, and you'll also get a rusted key, which the rusted key will allow you to open the door of.
Just fine, not too dark.
Oh right, Red, cool, fine, as long as you can manage, that's great, thanks for letting me know. You know, I don't want to just assume everybody can see, because it's fairly bright. I say fairly bright, it's bright enough for me on here, but obviously I know YouTube makes things a lot darker, but as long as you can manage, that is cool. Yeah, I just run over them spikes, then that took a little bit of health off me. Now if I'd have been wearing light armour, that'd have probably one-shot me and killed me. Medium would have certainly done me a lot of damage, so it was good that I'm in the heavy armour there. That kind of saved us a bit. Let's have a look. What are these two up to? Ooh, right, you got your first perk. This is Dina. What did she get? She got a plus to her armour, which is pretty decent. What have you got, Freya? She typically got a buff to strength, which is just typical when we're seeing if we can level her in agility, but hey ho, we'll carry on and see how it goes. It might have to be that we have to use the elixir of rebirth and change her back to a strength build, but for the purposes of testing we'll carry on. Right, don't really need to do too much in here now, I just wanted to come in a little bit just to see how they were going to get on. We have been in, ouch, we have been in here before in the past on a stream, so I don't want to just keep doing the same things and it gets too boring for people. So we'll head on out again, and that key, by the way, that's the Inner Sanctum key, which allowed us to get in here. Once you've obtained it, you don't lose it. You will actually be able to keep that key. Bulwark, how you doing? Nice to see you. Glad you liked the video. Glad you liked the little collab video we did say, didn't we, last Friday? Myself and Gaming with Gem, that we'd look at putting a little collab together. Glad you liked it. If you haven't seen that one yet, do check it out on the channel. It's there from yesterday. A little collab that myself and another YouTuber called Gaming with Gem did. She's also my missus, for those of you who don't know. I did mention that in that video, and she is a Sims 4 creator, so if you're interested in Sims of any sort, so currently on Sims 4 at the moment, she does her content on Sims 4 on the PC. She does.
I must admit I'm not a good decorator myself.
Yeah, I know, bulwark. I'm exactly the same. The amount of times I've made bases in the past and she's come on and looked at them and just gone, "Where's your pictures? Where's all your pottery? Where's your plants?" And I'm like, "Well, and she's like, "Nope, leave me be a minute, come back to me." And then I go back and it's all decked out with nice plants and curtains and yeah. She even admits that herself, that she prefers it. She likes building, but she definitely enjoys the decorating side of things with Conan. She's just been getting back into it again and really enjoying sort of doing all the decorating and building something and decorating it to show off.
Face with smiling eyes.
We'll definitely be doing another one in the future. A couple of people have said they enjoyed it and would like to see more, and she said she enjoyed the collab as well. And
what we doing today?
What we're doing today? So, kind of one of the things is to kind of have a look around, because one thing I want to do, even though I put a treasure chest down in my main base, I actually don't want to keep it in there. I want to actually build a little treasury somewhere and then surround it with an outer wall with plenty of guards on it and archers, etc., so that when we get the new purge update, as it's called, excuse me, in the next chapter, I can obviously get the new attack, or the purge as it's called, to only attack that area. Fortunately, I've got a lot of followers leveled up at the main base who will potentially get moved over to that. And I was just having a look at the bit of flat land just across on my left shoulder next to the unnamed city before, but I don't know whether to do it in the middle.
Some places.
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, of course you can, bulwark. Yeah, because I don't know whether to do it on this spot, because obviously whether you just have one gate in it, whether they're going to attack the gate and try and get past your followers, or if you have a gate on each side, if they're going to attack a gate, or whether it's going to be like the current purge and they're going to just attack your walls or everything. We don't really know. So that's one thing I want to do, and the other thing I'm currently doing is a bit of testing. We've got Freya and Dina Master Huntress here. I mentioned them last week. I said I'd got to the...
What for? It's just dust collector. The problem with my places is they are pretty far from anything, if that's okay.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Red. It's, yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? It's, yeah, what do you do? That's the thing. So yeah, these two, we're just levelling them up a little bit. I'm running a test with Freya where she's actually geared up for agility, and she's actually in full agility armour, the heavy Stygian soldier, and then Dina is geared up as a strength build, because people do say these are still good with a bow, even though I don't particularly think bows are all that great in the game. Okay for a player if you're using them to pull aggro, but kind of kept both of these with a defensive weapon. So she's got the... what's she got? I have Khan for bow, and the Modium for her sort of defensive weapon, and then Freya has the Reach of the Red Mother, which is very, very hard to get, must admit, and a Dragonbone Katana, because she's kind of agility based, but she just got her first perk, which gave her a boost to her strength, so she may end up being a strength build again without a bow. But if Dina Master Huntress, if she levels good in agility, if she ends up leveling in strength, that's all well and good. What I might just do is get a lot of Relic Hunters, even though they're not as strong as they used to be, level them up for agility, and maybe Lisa Longbow or Mandergal 100 Arrow from Set City, might level them up as well, put them in some decent agility gear, use them as defensive archers for the treasury as well, get some berserkers and some good high level fighters all leveled up and kitted up. But I just need to find a good spot really yet that I'm kind of happy with, that may work with this new purge system, but I'm not too sure yet. And of course, as I always say, if anybody's got any questions that they'd like to ask, do feel free to ask. You know, we're a friendly bunch. If we can help, we'll try and help.
I spy a chasm is one good place. Just south of TH Volcano is a nice cave there.
Iceberg chasm. Yeah, that's up in the snow. Could be a good one, yeah. Hello to anyone who's just joined, welcome, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Just another relaxed, chill out Friday on Conan, just having an explore and figuring out some different bits, and we can play test things if anybody wants to know about them. Just bear in mind any issues that I have on here or don't have on here may be different to PC. Some of the... It is a bit of a... Hey, Smoku, how are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, we're doing good, thank you. How are you? Hope you're good. It's Friday once again, of course. But yeah, if anybody's got any questions or anything they'd like to ask or something they want to know with the new age or any tips that I can maybe give for base locations, I'm sure Bulwark's got a few good spots you could probably build a little base on. If you are new to the game, welcome. If you've been here a long time like us, then I'm sure you'll be plodding along with the rest of us and trying to figure stuff out, and obviously waiting for chapter 2 of Age of War, which shouldn't be too long away now, I don't think. Don't know as of yet when that will be coming out, but obviously things are going to be changing.
I like tacking over of ruins and build base.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, ruins can be good. Yeah, because you've already got kind of a...
all good, my side mate.
That's good to know, Smoky.
Near the obelisk in the south of the jungle, there is a structure there, Watcher of the Passage 08.
There we go, another one for the jungle. I don't really go to the jungle too often. I'm not really, if I'm being honest, a bit... I don't dislike the jungle. It's just I don't go very often and I'm not very keen on sort of building it. Now, this is a bug that annoys me at the minute. She's obviously used her katana last, and when she's put that away, instead of a bow being on her back where it should be, it's on her side, and I just don't get. Now she pulls it out, it's not on her side, that should go on her back now. Nope. Well, it shows on her back, but it's also still bugged on the side.
Jungle is tough to build low.
Yeah, that's true, Smoker. It can be a little bit, and some of the enemies, especially the spiders and things in there, and panthers and what have you, do hit quite hard. But there are a couple of good spots. Some people know good places, especially if you like tree houses. That can be, the jungle can be good for tree houses, definitely. Not that I've built any. I wouldn't know where to start with building tree houses. I mean, I'm no pro builder myself, I'm happy to admit that. I mean, I get ideas in my head sometimes and I'll build something and then 5 minutes after I'm looking at it thinking,
What about the crevice just north of the Wurtos?
Yeah, the crevice is another one. I've heard that a lot on official servers and whatever. A lot of people like to build in the crevice. Excuse me, just having another drink. Yeah, I can't remember exactly where it is. I think it's round about here somewhere.
Jungle, I always make tree builds.
Right, oh that's good to know, Red. So I'm sure you could give people a few tips on how to build a tree house base if they wanted one. It's whatever you like for a base design, isn't it? I mean,
base you want to build?
yeah, exactly, Smoker. It also depends as well what type of base you want to build. I mean, there's so much.
East of the dam.
Yeah, that's true. The keyhole, that's an interesting one as well. Interesting little spot again. Yeah. It depends, doesn't it? Because like you've got to remember, like when you're new to the game, the temptation is just to create your character and then just run straight into the middle of the map and think, oh, this is great, and then wonder why you're dying so easy. What I tend to do, like I kind of do in my beginners series, is build a little hut that's just big enough to get the first few basic stations in, and a campfire and a place to put a bedroll. I'll do that, and then after I've done that, then I'll look at sort of a new location somewhere a bit higher up the map. Are we getting followed? Yes, we are. Oh, look at this lot.
I put my treasure room there.
Yeah, that might actually be really, really good. That's possibly a good little spot you've got there, and it should be easy to defend as well. Make sure you've got yourself some nice, properly geared up tier 4 fighters, whether they're, I don't know, anybody, Leon or Delincia, or even dare we say it, Freya or Dina, or whether it's, I'll say Delincia, or even Sumerian Berserkers. Definitely worth it if they've got good weapons and good gear.
Entry via transport stone only.
Right, so that's the only way you can get in, so that's cool. That'd be interesting to see then with this new purge system, if you've got your treasure room there when it happens. That'd be interesting to know, if you can remember down the line when we get to that. If you could let us know. Hopefully we'll still be doing some streams then as well, or if you comment it on a video even. If you get yourself a purge when you request one.
Another, but it's not big, and I will have to bite you because it's not marked.
Right. Yeah, no problem, Bulwark. Yeah.
They build with 10 blocks between the building. It's by purge. Interesting.
Four-way building with... Ah. Yeah, sorry, I was just, because I'm on my own server, I'm just going to, hopefully if there's anybody on there won't mind, pop it back to daytime because we are live, and I don't want to keep it dark for everybody because it's not very nice to try and see what you're doing when it goes dark, even though it's not dark for very long. So yeah, Bulwark, this was the other kind of area I was looking at first, kind of thinking not in front of the gateway necessarily, but on this sort of flat piece of land, and then making some sort of a square shape. I say square shape, like a little...
just bugs out now. They all just stand around at the bottom, so I put it off.
Right, Smoker, yeah. I think somebody said that, the way the purge works and what I'm hearing, that if they can't get a direct path sort of into your base, or they can't directly get to you, if they can't spawn near your base, they spawn at the nearest spot. So probably if it spawns below you and they can't get in your base, that's probably a good thing for you, because you can get down probably to them very easily and kill them all, and like deal with the purge relatively easy, can you? Because it works that way. Do you find that easier for you at the minute, or is it a bit of a pain? So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to build it on here.
If I'm not mistaken, the new Stygian purges will have also trebuchets.
Yes, I believe so. The new purge, I believe they're going to have like trebuchets. They'll build like what we would call a forward operating base nowadays near to your base. Once you're able to request the purge, we don't know how this is going to work yet. Obviously, based on the amount of treasure you have, will depend on the difficulty of it. But yeah, they're going to essentially, if you request this purge, they're going to build a base quite close to yours, and then use things like trebuchets and fighters. We believe it might be relic hunters, possibly, like people that will literally come and try and attack your base. So fighters, archers. We don't know if there's creatures as well and things like that, which is why, from what I'm hearing, it's going to be good to have, good, strong, leveled up, people call them thralls, but I like to call them followers or friends now. I don't like the word thralls. People to defend your base with good armour and good weapons, because obviously the more difficult level your purge is because of your treasure, then obviously the more difficult the purge is going to be to defeat. So that, and there are going to be people Whack4863 has actually released a video today. I just watched it before this stream, kind of giving his thoughts and impressions on the new chapter and the new purge system. And he's thinking, apparently from what he's hearing, it's going to be, they're going to have like a bag that they can carry with them, which is actually available in the admin panel actually, like a loot bag, and they're going to be able to come into your base if they get inside, pick up your treasure in this loot bag and then walk back out with it. But because they'll walk so slow, just like you do with one of these big, like the Decathlon cat idols or the bountiful treasure chest, that
Dev live stream is on 24th of August.
Thanks, Bulwark. Yeah, there we go. 24th of August. I'll have to remember that one. That yeah, they're going to walk slow just like you do, and it's going to be down to you probably more than your followers, because they won't realise that you as the player, you're going to have to chase that person trying to steal your loot, kill them, and then you're going to be able to pick that bag up again with that loot in it and obviously return it to your treasure room again. And then in chapter 3 they're kind of turning the table the other way around, where you're going to get to know where their purge base is or their forward operating base, and you're going to be able to go out and attack their base, or the AI or the NPCs, whatever you want to call them. You're going to be able to go and attack their base, and you're going to need things like explosive arrows, explosive jaws, what's the other one? Explosive arrows, explosive jaws, or your demon of fire orbs, all those type of things. How that's going to be easy to do if you're only running war party with 2 followers, or the single follower thing if you're going to go against you with 2 followers and 1 follower attacking their base. I should imagine it's not going to be very easy, but we don't know any details on that yet of how that's going to work or anything, so we'll just have to see. Hello to anyone else in chat who's just joined.
Fix the thralls and bugs before the update.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what they do, whether they do actually fix them in any way or what's going to happen. Obviously PC can have mods where they can have up to 10, I think it is, even following them, which would make a purge attack when you're turning the tables really easy to do. But
I started stockpiling explosives, now already low.
That's the way to do it, Smoker. Yeah, as I say, I've just seen Wax video today, and he's just advised that, and he's just made me realise that, yeah, I don't have any yet either, so I'm going to have to do the same. Because he's advised that, more so if you play on PvE, as we do, because obviously when you play PvE, we're not familiar with trebuchets and having to use explosive jars to raid play. Essentially, it's going to be like doing a raid on PvP, but for people on PvE. So does anyone actually know what the trebuchets are? Have you ever actually seen one before and kind of how they work? If not, I have actually got some set up at my main base. I can quite easily teleport back over there and have a look at them and kind of show you how they work and what they're all about, so if people don't know for PvE, of how they can get them, and then obviously have a practice with them. As there are different siege boulders you can craft as well from basic.
I wonder if explosive traps will work. Mine the field in front of the base, beaming face with smiling eyes.
Ooh.
Some around New Asagoth.
Bulwark, are you trying to give me more work to do here? More testing. Yeah, I wonder if explosive traps would work. Like if you had your base, like you're saying, you mine all the floor, would they walk into them and have the traps explode like the little disc traps do that in Clay Stronghold? Now when you go in and you walk on them, or I mean, followers trigger the traps in a dungeon, so why shouldn't those traps trigger if the NPCs?
Nice idea.
Yeah, definitely Smoker. Yeah, it's a good idea, Bulwark. Would an enemy walk into that trap if they're coming towards your base, like you said, because your companions will trigger them in dungeons, and you trigger them in dungeons. Obviously that would work in PvP, but PvE, I wonder whether that would work. That's something I'm going to have to look into and do a bit of testing. I think the only way I could potentially test it is if I create a bit of a minefield and
Human
then
face with smiling eyes.
I could spawn a non-converted NPC at the other side of the minefield, and then I can obviously fly back over the other side and then shoot out at them with a bow to get them to run at me and see if they run into those explosive traps, do they blow up or not. Right, I'll put that on the list. That'll be something I'll have to have a look at, and I will get back to you on that one. I'll either let you know in a video if we figure something out, or most likely
Climb around of your base and trigger a perch.
yeah, could even do that. Yeah. Like I say, I'll either let you guys know in a video what I find, but most likely I'll probably do it in a future stream when we're on like this. I'll probably mention it then, what I've found. Right, so let's go back up to where my main base is, which is kind of around here. And I've kind of got to figure out the damage stuff with it, with hitting buildings and things with these trebuchets, because I've kind of never used them, and the way I've got building damage changed on our server at the minute is a bit weird. Well, I said weird, it's not weird, it's changed so that structures can't get damaged by other players at the minute. But if I come back over here, let's just tell you to stand there, and you to stand there. There shouldn't be any enemies around here, we should be perfectly fine. And we won't use these on this side, but these are a couple that I've got set up here, and these do fully rotate, and to move them all you have to do is walk against this wooden bit here. As you can see, that's just turned it that way a bit, and also this side here, I'll turn it back that way, and I've just put this box down just with spare ones in them. This is your firing mechanism. No idea where that just went. But then to reload, you kind of got to come to the front here, and it's a bit fiddly, but look at the front and that will reload it. And then if you want to change the angle, yeah, I thought it did. You come up to this little stick here.
Way overshoot.
Yeah, you kind of got to play around with this and look at all the different angles. I've still got to kind of test this yet. Let's go right down to 0.
So the counterweight counts.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. Bulwark, I didn't know that with the counterweight. Is it the more you've got in will allow it to travel further, or is it the less counterweight makes it go further? Because I've currently got 6 in at the moment, and I never know whether you need more counterweight means less distance or the other way around. I've not really figured it out. So more weight means it will go further then, yeah. Is that right?
The more the further.
Gotcha. Yeah, I kind of thought it would be. I thought more weight means more power. So that's set.
Counterweight for more distance.
Right. See, I'm learning already. Like I say, I've never used these, so I didn't really have a clue how they worked. Find that again. Oh yeah, a lot nearer. And that was at 0. So if we grab a couple of these from here, when it gets down the list, come on, pop them in there like that, and then if we go here again, let's reload. Pity you can't get your AI to do this. That's probably asking a bit much, isn't it? 2 AI, 1 to reload, 1 to shoot, but you know. Interesting. Right, so that's set at 0. Let's up that slightly now. That's at 5. Welcome to the one who's just joined. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. Hope your week's been good. Just having a look at the trebuchets and just doing some testing and seeing what we think. Did that even reload? Obviously it didn't, and I thought it did. That was weird. Anyway, let's trigger that one. That's still going over that building, isn't it? Right, so if that's doing that then, let's then try 9 in the counterweights, that's almost full. So that's going to send it even further now though, isn't it? That's got 9 in it, that's going to go even further.
I all hope you all enjoy. Friend I mean. Koto -5. Less CW. Koto -5 degrees.
-5, right. Got you. Is this being buggy? Because I'm sure I've just reloaded that once. Come on. Yeah, right, that's reloaded. -5. Right, the annoying thing with console is I have to take it all the way up and then take it all the way back down again. Let's go up to that. -5. That's 15, -10, -5. Right. Oh yeah, that was a lot closer.
On PCG.
Weird. Chat's been.
10.
Weird. My chat's being weird for some reason there, guys. I don't know what's going on. You have to excuse that. It seems to be repeating things to me that we've already said. It's a bit weird. Hopefully it'll sort itself out. Let's reload again. Now I want to go slightly to the right. And then
Increase the angle to -10 degrees.
-10, right. So now, like I said, I've got to go all the way back around again, which is weird. There's got to be another way to decrease and increase rather than having to do this, but unfortunately it gets me to do it this way, which is a little bit annoying. There we go. -10. Right. Then we need to reload. And fire. Yeah, direct, right on the door. Obviously it's not doing too much damage because of the way I've got the server set up, but that was a pretty close, decent shot, I would say. And these are just the very basic siege boulders that I'm using. These aren't even the iron or the better ones. Yeah, that's going right in the doorway now, so that's perfect at that angle. I reckon that's more than near enough for this spot. So yeah, that is the siege weapons, if you will, the trebuchet. And to make those, you need to go into your knowledge, excuse me, and they should be here in your apprentice mason knowledge. Unlock that there, and as you can see, you've got the various different bits that you need. So you've got the siege foundation, trebuchet base, and then it tells you to add the frame, add the arm, and then you can create the boulders with stone. And in order to make those, you need to use your carpenter's bench. So if I just run in here, And we go.
I
Oops.
dumped all the tribute ammunition from the battle bus.
Right. Hmm. So that is the trebuchets, how you use them, kind of thing. It's going to take me a little bit more practice with those yet. I'm going to be very rusty with those. But yeah, you can use either your improved carpenter's bench. I think they're on this. Where are they? They were on there. Why are they not showing? Have I taken them off again? Right. I think, have I unlearned? I've been respecking and changing so many times. Yeah, look at that, I didn't even learn it again. So yeah, you can do it on the regular carpenter's bench. Well, the improved carpenter's bench as it is. You make the base there. So the foundation, stone and wood, and then the base. Stone, wood, and some iron reinforcements again. Or if you've got the precision carpenter's bench, you can even make it on there as well. Essentially just cost you a little bit less materials because that's the cost reduction on the bench. So you produce those on there, and then you put your foundation down wherever you're going to place it, then add your base, and then it'll tell you in the menu, if you click into the base of the trebuchet, to then build the frame.
You
Which...
get star metal siege boulders too.
Oh, star metal boulders as well. Right, that's interesting to know. I wonder what star metal boulders will be like. They'll probably do some damage, I should imagine. If you are enjoying this stream chat, do me a big favour, hit that thumbs up button for me. Just
Do you
helps.
get the recipes for those or just some boulders?
That is a good question.
Bit of a waste actually. I thrown all away.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, if you are enjoying the stream chat, do me a favour and hit the like button. Just helps the YouTube algorithm to kind of recommend this to more people. And I know we can't expect to get dozens of people just yet. It's kind of a off-the-cuff stream where we're not really advertising as yet. But I am aiming to do this every Friday, 7 PM to 9 PM my time. As I know you guys did say.
I made a testing place with blocks for instant distance on paper, then I have all me sermons.
Right. Yeah, that's probably the best way. Do a sort of test and see how it goes kind of thing. That's probably the best way to do it, definitely. Yes, I want to do this every Friday while people are enjoying it. Hoping to get my PlayStation connected up with my PC eventually. It's not the best of PCs, but I'm hoping to do it that way. Then I can use a different software to actually run the stream. And then that way I can actually schedule it, and you guys will know sooner when the stream's coming up, rather than just having to see whether I'm live or not. Doing it direct from the console is a bit of a pain, but that's just the way it works. Unfortunately, I'm pretty new to all the streaming side of it, so I'm still learning. But we'll get there. Right, if we go back to our trebuchets a moment. And then let's go into the inventory. We can make siege boulders out of stone. I can't remember if it's a recipe you've got to get or whether there's a way that you can actually craft them. I'd have to look that up again, either on the good old wiki or YouTube, because I know there is a way you can get the better ones, or the iron ones, and then I think you can get explosive ones as well, but obviously they take a lot more to craft and what have you. I'm going to have to do some more testing on this, because this is something I've just been messing around with briefly in the past couple of weeks. I need to do a lot more testing on it and figure out where we're going to go with it.
I believe the other material boulders you can only get from Battle Pass.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, well, remember bulwark. Yeah, I think you can only get them from like the battle pass, can't you? Or possibly there might even be bundles that you could buy in the bazaar, possibly.
You need to unlock explosive feet from weapons tab.
That's it, yeah. The explosive feet from the weapons tab, yeah. Just while we're here, if anybody hasn't seen yet, this is the current bazaar. That's the items that are available. So the good old hedge maze is back in. If anybody hasn't got the hedge maze yet, you can actually use those pieces individually. Apparently, if you wanted to create like a nice border around your garden, it's not one big full complete piece. If you saw, excuse me, our video yesterday, the collab with Gaming with Gem, we did actually talk about buying this set because of the bed that's in it. That's quite a nice looking bed, and we are considering getting this pack. Not too sure yet, we're still trying to decide whether we're going to get it or not, because you do get a few interesting pieces in it. Obviously the bed, which is really nice. Nice rug, another hanging brazier of some sort, and that looks like a kind of a stool type of thing, and then a little cupboard, and then also the clothing items there again. But yeah, we're not too sure on that one yet. A couple of other different bits and pieces. That's actually part of the Aquilonian bath set, but you can get it in this set as well if you haven't already got it.
Wish they'd bring the Stormlast set back.
Yeah, I've actually got that one. Smoku, I've actually got the second one from that set. I love it. The extra pieces that are in it. I haven't really built big cathedrals or anything on this server as yet, but the yeah.
In the future, Smokers.
Oh yeah, they always seem to rotate everything and bring them around again, don't they? Just to give you an example, the top window there that you can see.
You do know that a bed is a bed.
Yeah, of course it is.
Set is a wasm.
Yep, absolutely. But yeah, the storm glass, if you've got the ordinary storm glass set, you've got those big windows, but you now also get, in the new set, you get those with it as well.
I missed the dungeon set too.
Oh yeah, I didn't get around to getting that either when it was out at the time. I'm watching a few reviews on it and trying to decide, and by the time I should have made my mind up, it had already gone. It'll be back again sometime. If I just quickly go into creative, and then if we go down to, where are we? Negotiate,
amazing.
Frontier, Remedian, Stoneglass. You also get the, is it this one? Yeah, no, that one. Stoneglass interior wall, which is kind of like this one, but instead of looking like that does on the outside and then the panel like that on the inside, it's a bit of a different design, which is a bit nicer than the sort of existing pieces that are there at the moment. I can't remember that building me look at. Yeah, that's my treasure room up there at the minute. Probably getting rid of that and putting it in this new treasure room once I make it. This is just a little room just for a couple of NPCs to have a bed in, even though they don't use them, just for aesthetics. And yeah, this little stone glass build. Oh, you also get the stone glass ceiling tiles as well. I've just put my Decato shrine in here just to give it a bit of shelter, so it's kind of got its own little building, if you will. And then, like I said, this is my main base that I use at the moment. Kind of got a gateway here, a couple of archers at either side, and then we've got different people all dotted around here. This is the set shrine in this one, in a different set again, just to kind of show that one off. No pun intended there, because I was looking at the set shrine, by the way. And build is just kind of in two pieces, because what the idea was, I wanted to kind of have it over this sort of river. So if I fly over again a minute and then come this way, you've got the main water river here, which is all this here, and then the way you've got the little bit that flows off it. I've just put the arena gates and the door frames in, so it kind of creates like a flow for the river. So it's one part of the main base is on that side and then the other part's on this side, and then you can see it better there, so it comes in through the outer wall, flows across here. I just put a little walkway there so you can get to that side, and then the water just carries on underneath. It's got a bit where it can just continue and then out the other side of the wall and carries on where it's going. Never ever built something like that. I started building this on our previous version of this server before we had to unfortunately wipe it and start again. That's a weird bug. We can hear the lift moving even though I'm not in there. Never heard that glitch before. And then of course we've got the studio. Thanks Bulwark, yeah I appreciate that. And a stable for the horses. Of course that's where Candy will also sit with Lady. The little hut for some NPCs. And then this is kind of another bit where I've got some of the different people. I've got to complete it in here yet. It's kind of a command room representation, if you will. Just sort of a bit of an HQ, just a bit of a messy around thing really.
Must have taken a minute.
Oh yeah, Smoker, it's taken me a good few weeks to put this together. I had to start by doing one half of the main base and then the bit joining across the river and then the next section, and then obviously this part that I use for my what I call recording studio. This bit here was all added in afterwards, and the stable and the other bits and pieces. It took a while because I kept building a bit and pulling a bit down and changing the wall and changing layouts, etc., and it took a little while. This young lady here is a Relic Hunter Treasure Seeker again. She's a full agility build. She's actually wearing the assassin's armour, and again she's using a katana for her weapon. Looks a bit crazy there, she's sticking it through herself because of the emote that she's doing, but yeah, she's a fully levelled up what I call assassin build. And then we've got other people just knocking around, so berserkers and Delincias and all sorts of other different people, and a lot of these people that are levelled up.
About 5 weeks.
Yeah, probably Red, probably did. In between.
Ooh, what katana that?
That katana, Smoku, that is the Dragonbone katana. Wrong person. Yeah, that is the Dragonbone katana, and that's got the master weapon fitting on it. And that one, to get that actually came into the bazaar as a piece that you could buy. So I think you can only buy the recipe for that in the bazaar when it comes in. You can make the Dragonbone katana, and you make that one with star metal and a weapon handle. And then that's just got the master weapon fitted on it to boost its damage and armor pen. So yeah, she's using that one, and that's the Dragonbone, which I think the design is quite nice. And then we've got a couple of Relic Hunters here, exactly the same again. They're using the katana as well. They're actually wearing the full Stygian soldier.
Looks really good.
Thank you, much appreciated, Smoky. Thank you. Yeah, these guys are in the full Stygian soldier, which gives them a bonus to agility in all pieces, gives them some decent armour and decent health. Got lucky with the way they were levelled up, even though a lot of these Relic Hunters, they did get nerfed quite heavily. And then this young lady here is actually a bearer, and if you've seen my friend taming build, I think I called it, which is about a good way to put a build together for yourself with what armour I use, which actually, disclaimer, is actually taken from, to give me whack 4863, a little build he did a while back that I've kind of tried to recreate on console. Not really a build for going out fighting with, it's more purely for if you're going out taming friends and doing a friend maker build. she's wearing exactly the same as what I would be wearing, which is the Slaver's Hood, and then the Skelos Cultist Master Armour, and then she's actually an agility build, so she's using again the Dragon Mode Katana, and she's purely for when we're going knocking out NPCs, so fighters, archers, crafters. I wear exactly the same setup as her. If you want to know a bit about that, do check out the video on the channel. It's there. You'll recognise the thumbnail as it has this follower on there as well with me. So check that one out. That's there on the channel. If you're interested in a decent, even though it's only medium armour, it's enough for what you're going out doing. Just need to check what's going on with this lift because I feel like I can still hear it. Is it this one? Yeah. Finally. It wasn't even actually moving, but yeah, it sounded like it was. Then in here I've just got a tier 4 smelter who's from Seppa Maru, and this is Day Lead Drinker. Fairly decent smelter to get from Seppa Maru. Not a guaranteed spawn, but there are multiple locations where she can spawn, so if you keep killing a lot of the different spawns.
I've become a big fan of the Dogs of the Desert faction for archers.
Right, Smokey, that's good to know. Yeah, again, another little series of videos if you haven't seen them that I just did recently. They're looking at the different thrall factions in the game, and the Dogs of the Desert are featured in there, so you kind of get an idea there for the different tier of fighters, of what health they have. Pretty much similar with the archers, just like the fighters obviously as well. So if you're interested in knowing a bit more about different fighters and archers in the game, check that little series out. There are 3 episodes. In the final episode I show you some named people from around the map who are pretty good to use, and give you my top 4/5 NPC named people to use, because I'm not even going to spoil it. You would be surprised who my 5th one is that I include in that, because I was a bit didn't know at first and heard so much about it and how good they were supposed to be, but tested one out, and yeah, I give my thoughts on that in that video as well, and you'll see if you check out that little series. I'd appreciate your comments and likes on that series as well. That would also be very much appreciated. Got a young lady dancing away here. Get myself back out of creative mode so I'm getting the proper benefits from her while we're stood here. And again, she's actually kitted up as a fighter, so exactly the same as my Delincias and my Berserkers. So she's combat ready, although she doesn't have a weapon, but that's just because she's in here. Great, Smoker, that's good to know. And yeah, again, as I said earlier, if anybody is or knows of anybody that is a fan of Sims 4, if you remember Gaming with Gem, who is also a moderator, she popped in the streams I did last week a little bit and talked about the collab that we'll be doing, which we've also now done. That video came out yesterday. Check that one out, and do me a favour if you would, pop over and check out her channel, maybe subscribe to her to help her if you could. She's a fairly new creator to it all, just trying to learn like I am, and a bit further down on her journey to where I am, trying to build her channel, doing her best with it. I'd really appreciate your support for it, and I'm sure she would appreciate your support also. That's Gaming with Gem on YouTube, and she does, as I say, Sims 4 on the PC. Right, let me just check what time we're on. Okay, so we're 8:15, so about 45 minutes to go already. Tell you, when you're playing this game, time just...
Like the RHTS has the same damage modifier as the named Dogs of the Desert Archers, but the .D Archers have more agility from there.
Right, that's good to know. Good to know. Yeah, I know Angor's a big fan of the Relic Hunters, as am I, to be honest. They're slightly better tier, aren't they? They're slightly higher. Couldn't just tell you her damage modifier off the top of my head, but obviously that's what she leveled up with, and she's got a decent amount of health, not as much as they used to get, but you can see there with her agility weapon damage, she's got a 58 bonus already, and with food and an agility bonus potion she'd do a little bit more. Good.
1.44.
Thank you, Bulwark. You know, don't know what I'd do without you. I'd be lost, I tell you. Great stuff. Yeah.
1.44.
Yep. Thanks, Mogoot. Brill. Do you know, I'm so lucky to have you guys. It's yeah, so lucky to have you guys. So lucky to have you all, and that you're all so supportive, and the fact that we all interact with each other and speak to each other so nicely, and we're so polite with each other. It's great.
But I just Googled.
Well, yeah, I know. But we're not gonna, you know. Yeah, no, I really do appreciate you guys all popping in like you do and spending your Friday afternoon or evening or morning with me just for a couple of hours. It's very much appreciated. And obviously your comments and your likes and views on the videos that you give are also very much appreciated. We're well on the way now to... I'm hoping I can hit my target of 500 subs in September. We're just shy of 400 now, a little way to go. Kind of thinking with how time's going, was that a bit much to ask? But you never know, we could do it still, hoping to do it. As I've said before, it's my birthday at the beginning of September, so that would be a nice early birthday present to hit 500 subs, because as many of you may know, with YouTube they brought out some new features now. One of the cool new features is a ability for viewers called Super Thanks, or super stickers, that you can give super stickers in live streams, and there's a Super Thanks which is something that you can use to give, I believe it's like a donation almost kind of thing, correct me if I'm wrong, in a video. So if you really like a video you can leave a Super Thanks, which also supports me as a creator and also shows me your appreciation for the videos and for the content. So hoping to hit that 500 so that we can then look at starting to doing that with our YouTube journey, which would be great. And then obviously the ultimate goal is to reach the 1,000 subs.
Do you need exactly 500 subs to get partnered?
No, it's 1,000 to get YouTube partner. Actually, it's 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours. Now the crazy thing is, I don't know if anybody's seen United Gamers Authority. They recently hit their target of 1,000 subs, and they were telling me it was crazy because they had over the 4,000 watch hours, as I have now as well actually. They had well over the 4,000 watch hours before they even hit the 1,000 subs. So it's 4,000 public watch hours and 1,000 subs for what they call monetization, and obviously to be a YouTube partner, which also unlocks a lot of other benefits as well. It also allows me to do potential channel memberships and things like that, which is something I'm going to have to hopefully eventually look into once we get to that milestone, which is still a little way off yet, but obviously it's another thing I'm going to have to look at, because if you guys would like that sort of thing, where I can give you a couple of different tiers of memberships, that if you would be interested in becoming a channel member and supporting me that way, it's a great financial way of supporting the channel and showing your appreciation for the content that I do. I don't expect anybody to do it once I'm able to do it, or I don't expect to get super thanks on videos from anybody, but it will be very much appreciated if we do. And obviously it's people's discretion whether they choose to support that creator or not. Obviously I'm only here to try and entertain you guys and do my best with it. You know, I can't be none of us are professionals, and we're all just trying to do it for the enjoyment of playing the game.
Monetization and partnership are different things.
They're very similar. Like I said, a YouTube partner, it opens up different things that I'm able to do, like I say, like channel memberships, etc., and things like that. And then monetization means, for example, I can enable adverts in videos so that whenever you guys watch any videos, if an advert plays, I get, you know, a very small percentage of that from, I think they call that ad revenue, and there's lots of other different ways, and I can look at sponsorships and things like that, and as I say, channel memberships for my community and potential other different things I can do. I am trying at the moment to get in some sort of contact with Funcom, which would be nice to have sort of a link with them to kind of have a bit more communication with them via email or something, which would be nice to be able to relay issues that we have on console from the game to them, and hopefully work with them and be able to give you guys more accurate information on things as it comes out as well, because we are obviously a bit more limited on console what we can do compared to PC. But it's just one of those things, you know, all these things will come with time. You know, YouTube, I would like to make this sort of my going forward career, if you will, kind of thing, and look at doing it even more sort of regular with the videos that I do, and more live streams, and actually get paid to do what I'm doing, because I do enjoy it. You know, I do enjoy bringing you guys the videos and the content and sharing what I find with you and my enjoyment of the game. Doesn't mean we'll always have to stay with Conan. This will be the main game that we're covering at the moment, but if people want different games, I'd potentially consider looking at them and trying those out as well. I am looking forward to the new Tomb Raider when that eventually comes out, which we don't know when that is yet. That could be a year or a year or two away, but obviously when that does come out, we'll be covering that on the channel, because I am a big fan of the Tomb Raider franchise, and once we know a bit more detail nearer to the time when that's potentially due, I might do a revisit back to Shadow of the Tomb Raider as one of the previous trilogy that was out, because I did like that game. I do actually have that one. But if anybody ever wants me to cover anything else, there's other possible titles I would maybe consider, because obviously ultimately at the end of the day I want to show what you guys want to see, which is why I kept the name for the channel the way it is, because I want it to be games that my community want to watch and that my followers want to watch. I don't want it to just be all about what I think people will want to watch. It's ultimately at the end of the day all about you guys and what you guys want, what you want to see, what content you would like. Obviously let me know, give me some ideas, and if it's something I could consider or I'm able to consider looking at, I'll do so, definitely. But for the moment, obviously we'll look at continuing to do these streams on a Friday for a couple of hours, and obviously there'll be the regular videos coming sort of as I'm able to do. Obviously life has to come first sometimes, but we'll keep going certainly while we can. Lots of ideas hopefully up and coming, and especially when chapter 2 comes around, hopefully new things to bring to us.
Like other genres, like SF.
I have played other games. I did cover Marvel's Avengers when that was out a little bit on my channel.
No Man's Sky.
No, that was one I've kind of looked at, and I was a bit I wasn't too sure about that one. A lot of my problem, I'll be honest with you guys, a lot of my trouble is, unfortunately my eyesight isn't very good, so I'm very limited on certain games of what I'm able to see, like with the menus, etc., and the layout of certain games. If they're like a lot of distance based things, I do struggle with them. Fortunately with Conan, a lot of the menus are quite easy to see and quite big, and I'm able to manage with those. But there are certain games that I've wanted to try and look at, but when I've watched videos on them or seen, you know, adverts for them, and then you see the menus with them, or a lot of the UI that shows on the screen, I really struggle to read it, unfortunately, which is a shame. But I didn't want that to be something that would let me down starting a YouTube channel, because it's something I've always wanted to do, and it took a while to get going. And I was kind of playing Fortnite a little bit at the very beginning, and then realised that yeah, I'm not going to grow a channel that way, because I'm not very good at Fortnite, I'll be honest, and people weren't really watching me, because obviously there are already lots of creators that already cover things like Fortnite, I've tried Call of Duty in the past. I've played those before I had a channel. I've played things like Call of Duty and Modern Warfare, and they're pretty good. I do like those. I did also try and do some live streams or recorded videos on Shadow of the Tomb Raider a little while back, but the views were quite low on it. I wasn't really getting the views on it. Now, if anybody would like me to do something like Shadow of the Tomb Raider once again, either for a Friday stream instead of Conan, for something different. If anybody wants me to do something like Shadow of the Tomb Raider for something different, or if they, you know, whether they want me to wait and hold off on that and we just keep doing Conan, or if anybody would like to see a sort of gameplay style video series on Shadow of the Tomb Raider where it'll be edited slightly obviously, but we're doing episode 1 starting from the very beginning and then do a playthrough of that again. If people would like to see that, obviously they could watch it, but if people aren't interested, then obviously we'd hold off on that. Excuse me. Until it obviously comes out. You'd be interested, Smoku, yeah? You'd be interested in seeing Shadow of the Tomb Raider again? Like I say, I did previously do some videos on it. They're all there on the channel, I think, under the main playlist, but I took that separate playlist off a little while back because I found that, as I say, at the time when I was doing...
I'm not going to lie, I'm not grinning face with sweat.
What do you mean, Bulwark?
But I'll check it out.
That's good to know, good to know. I mean, we don't have to, like I say, but how do people want it? Would you rather do it as a little playthrough on a Friday instead of Conan, or do you want me to do it as a little Let's Play series? Sort of where I'm playing the game and I'll obviously talk as I'm playing the game and react to stuff as I'm doing it. And we'll do it as a series, like a lot of people do, gameplay walkthroughs. It's entirely up to you guys what you would want. Do you want to carry on with the Conan streams and have that as a gameplay series, or do you want to have a first look at it for a Friday stream for a couple of hours for something different? You guys let me know. It's what you guys want to watch ultimately at the end of the day that I want to do. I don't want to do what I think you want to do. Like I say, I want it to be all about you guys and what you want to see. So, just going to go down here because also there's an extra build that I've actually built on this server that I've actually called a little spa with a swimming pool and what is a representation of a sauna, shall we say, because you can't really make a sauna in Conan, but there's a representation of one. And this is just down here on the river in G. So we've got our two lovely ladies guarding the front door. And if I go into first person just so you can see a little easier. Here we go. And the water is obviously the water from the river. And this took, I'm not kidding you, ages to get this depth right and block it all in properly. Unfortunately I do have the fish coming in at the back there a little bit, which is a bit of a pain because usually they don't, but it is what it is kind of thing. So over here we've just got the obvious latrine or toilet as we all call it. One over this side as well. And yeah, these decorations, I actually put all these in myself. Gamer with Gem didn't actually do any of this. This is actually all my doing, believe it or not.
It looks so cool.
Thanks, Smoker. Appreciate that. And yeah, that robe that she's wearing is part of the bath set as well. And then we've just done a similar desk over this side, but this is the...
Put two nice thralls in a building, bingo, you got a sauna.
Yeah, Red, I like it, yep. So we've got some lockers here, then we've got our lifeguards in their red bikini, ready to save you if you get in trouble. I mean, they won't literally move, obviously. Be nice if they did, but you know.
Luck that 1 2.
So we've got
Rolling on the floor laughing.
that one.
Went to the bathroom. What I this? This looks cool.
So then we've got a young lady in a bikini that's having a swim, but she's now having a rest because she's obviously tired. And we've got a nice bath in with a young lady that's giving you a fan to keep you cool so you don't get too warm in the tub. There's a lifeguard here.
Is Foss a spa?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a spa, yeah. Well, my interpretation of one. As much as we can do on Conan with the limitations that we've got on console. Young lady that's swimming. And then we've got a young lady that's in the sauna. Another lady there. A couple more
I miss all the
beds.
good stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's a lifeguard at this side. And then we've just put the, you can just about see them, the little radium gem torches in, just to give the pool a bit of a different colour underneath. It looks really good at night actually, this. I know this is going to look a bit mad because I've got the shield on my back, but if we run and use the new dive animation, we can jump right into the pool. Just like that. And then we've got the steps at the other side. I know, go on, tell me off, I shouldn't be running at a swimming pool, I might fall in. I'm waiting for it. Shouldn't run next to a swimming pool. Yeah, that would be right though, we shouldn't. So yeah, run.
Double jump and dive.
Yeah, unfortunately I haven't got the double jump available because I'm not using the double jump in agility, but yeah, if you had the double jump with the agility perk, that'd really send you up a lot higher, wouldn't it? So there we go. That is our little spa that